man. Then, welcome back to another Danalysis. Welcome back. Boy, do I have things to talk about. And am I furious. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go straight into it. Newcastle United, Arsenal. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. And first of all, I want to break some myths because first myth, people saying that we were bullied at St. James's Park. I completely disagree. We won the midfield battle. We dominated most of the game. We had more field tilt. In what way were we bullied? Well and truly, man. Please figure like it's so silly, and people run with this narrative after the game that it's a game about who wanted it more, and Newcastle wanted it more. No, they did not. Intensity wise, we were there, and we showed up, and they did not bully us in the slightest. In fact, we won in duels and slightly in intensity. It was a very intense game, sure, but we did not get bullied in the slightest. And that's just one thing that has been really annoying me, within Twitter, etc. But let's talk about the thing that annoyed me most, and I will get into my own team. Of course I will, but this is the topic that I think has to be talked about today, especially from that United game as well. It's the refs. It's the officiating of the best league, the biggest league in the world. It's simply unacceptable. It's a crime for it to be this bad. I'm sorry, but violent acts of misconduct by Bruno Guimaraes that went unnoticed, and for him to only have a yellow by the end of the game is outrageous. We look at him hitting Jorginho's head. Is that not a violent act? I'm sorry, but come on. And then him just ramming into Jorginho for no apparent reason and telling him to get up. My God, Bruno Guimaraes, he angered me so much today. Not only that, there was, I think, one incident where he brought Nketiah down in the box from a corner and no check whatsoever. I feel like we should have complained more, tried to get a check, but we didn't. It's about being smart and trying to get that, but those are just little things and within the game that it's so important to have. Yet we didn't do it, and sometimes it costs you. But moving on from this, it's just, anyways, I had the goal, the singular goal of the game. Out? Oh, we're not sure. Let's check if it's let's just check if it's a foul. I'm not sure. Let's check if it's offside. We're not sure. And I know this is a stupid way to bring it up, but in FPL, it was gifted as a Joelinton assist. If it's a Joelinton assist, shouldn't it be off? No? Does that not fucking make sense? And if it isn't a Joelinton assist, shouldn't it have been a foul? And if it isn't either, it should have been out. It was out from the first start of that play. For that goal to be allowed, it's so disgraceful, because, and not even, also Bruno Guimaraes being on the pitch is so disgraceful. I think they got away with so much. People, like, you have in the grasp of your hands VAR. You have a people in a room where they're able to see everything that goes on within the game. They can replay it, they can see it again. I understand as a singular ref, you have two eyes and you cannot see everything in the game at once. And I understand that you won't know everything that's happened. Of course you won't, right? But when you have that in your hands, to consistently make mistakes week in, week out is unacceptable. It's true, it truly is, because you can watch it, rewatch it over and over again. You can ask the ref to go to the screen, and for the ref to not go to the screen for that goal, for anything today, is unacceptable. Why is he not going to the screen? I'm sorry, but that makes no sense. And let's take it back. I'm gonna try to put a photo of Rashford's goal, Rashford's assist to Højlund against Brighton that got disallowed, and a screenshot of our goal, not our goal, of Newcastle's goal today, right? Please tell me what is the difference in these. I'm not sure if from what I've seen, the photo I saw, Rashford's looks more in than Newcastle's one. So please, how? Please, it makes no sense, and it's truly a disgrace for the biggest league in the world to be like this. You know, it's the Premier League, for God's sakes. It's unacceptable to have things like this. There should be bigger consequences for things like this. For another, and they're probably gonna send another PGMO apology, and I don't want that apology, man. I don't want that. I want something bigger. I understand they're gonna have to send it, but it's just so tiring. Apology week in, week out. Apology there. It's just, why? Like, come on. I understand back in the day when we didn't have this much technology within the game. You know, you're not seeing everything. You know, you have 3 refs and that's it. You know, but then to consistently make mistakes week in, week out with all the technology we have nowadays, it's just outrageous. And I'm sorry, this was a huge ref rant. Moving on, let's just talk about our own players this time. Sorry. One player I did want to talk about mainly. One thing before that. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this Havertz scapegoating. In fact, he was one of our better players on the pitch. I think we won the midfield battle, and he did very well. I think it might not have been intended, but it was extremely smart for what he did. For him to only get yellow and to get them 3 yellows from that one tackle, it was a late tackle. Well, it wasn't a red, but it was enough to make people think it was a red and then go crazy about it. And now that's just a perfect level. You know what I'm saying? It's just the little things of that game that I can admire. Not just that Declan Rice was amazing again. I've run out of words to describe this guy. I won't go into him again because I always go into him. Pause. But yeah. And one player I will talk about is Bukayo Saka, because I think there's gonna be a few cuts, but the overlap is gone, and Bukayo Saka is just 2 versus 1, has to pass back or whatever, and it was consistently like that. Saka, really disappointed, to be honest, and Nketiah nowhere to be seen. I think our midfielders individually, they had good games, but I think what we lacked was movements and creativity. We just didn't create anything, really. I think we had the upper hand of the game, but we didn't deserve to lose that game at all. And I think it's such a myth to say that we deserve to lose or we lost because we didn't want it as much. That is completely untrue. For Newcastle at St. James's Park, one of the hardest stadiums to go to in the entire of Europe, let's be honest, they beat PSG 4-0 at St. James's Park. The atmosphere was crazy there. I knew once we went down, it's going to be long. Because when you're down at St. James's Park, it's a long day. It's a long day, and it was a long day. You know, and for them at St. James's Park to only get a shot on target until the 60th minute, you know, and people to point out a narrative that to act like we were outplayed or we were out intent. They had more intensity. It's just false. It's just not true. You know, I think as well. Raya, I think, looking a bit at him, man, I think, especially with those crosses, man, the goal, I understand it shouldn't have counted in my opinion, but, like, you know, it did at the end of the day, and he should have done better, you know. It's really, really annoying to see. And yeah, I think we lack a lot of we lacked a lot of dynamism at times, and movements that we needed, and creativity, and it's just really frustrating to see. I think individually our midfielders had good games, but we lack certain movements to create, and it's really frustrating to see at times. But we did not, and as critique I can be over some players. Fabio Vieira coming on, there was a bit parts where I was just really annoyed, but I think it wasn't a game we deserved to lose, and I'm so annoyed that we lost it. I really wanted to stay undefeated. Obviously, I would have much rather a win than a draw, but I would rather a draw than a loss. It's just outrageous that we did. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just really, really, really annoying to take. It's a tough pill to take. But nonetheless, I think that's about it. Conclusion, refs. Something has to be done. The officiating, it's just simply not good enough. But yeah, until the next fucking game. Thank you. Whoa.